Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Last Wednesday of March. Hope everyone's doing good. We're going to play tonight a little bit. I have kind of a plan. We'll see how it works out. I'll give a few minutes for things to kind of catch up and all that stuff. Sometimes I get the notifications if I'm live or not, and sometimes I don't. So there we go. I got a Facebook notification, so that must mean we are live. Hope everyone's had a good March so far. I lucked out and didn't get any of the snow. Well, I mean, it snowed, but it melted right away here. Hey, Tia. Um, but my family up north, they were down here visiting. Hi, Glenda. Good evening. Hello, Penny. They had some snow back home. So, hey, Danielle, your notifications. Woohoo! That's awesome. Hi, Karen. Okay, gonna put this up. Good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. I kind of have an idea, and I have some things done, but we're gonna play a little bit first. I miss you too. Hi, Sarah. Um, and then just so you kind of see what I did. So I've got two products here to play with tonight, and I'm only going to probably do one. I have the white gesso um, oops, let me switch camera angles. Sorry about that. And I don't know if what I want to do is going to work best with this or not. I'm just going to try it. I've never done this before. Hi, Melissa. So you can get this. We have white and black gesso. And then I also have one that I did with the Ranger texture paste, the crackle paste. And we're going to see the results. We're going to do the same technique with both and just see the results. But what I want to do is I use Not Your Mama's for my preps. And so I'm going to show you how I did the gesso with this is aqua pigment paper, because later I want to try the same technique on this and see the different results. So I have not played with this Fluttering Flight Slimline stencil, and it is just beautiful. And some of the projects I've seen have just blown me away and just made me want to play with it like all the time. So I already have I really pixie sprayed it really well. And then I'm going to lay it on a straight kind of, it doesn't really too much matter, but I want as much of this butterfly up here as we can. This is going to be kind of a messy, not perfect, no real control thing. Like it's not going to be super clean, I guess is the best way to say that. So one thing you can do is use a brayer, use a towel, but I did deliberately spray it this time with pixie spray so that I could try to get a really good seal, because if you haven't used gesso before, it's a little bit more liquidy than a paste. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up and show you what it looks like. I do have the foam piece, and if it sticks on the inside, that's fine. But if you can tell, I mean, it doesn't drip, but it's still kind of thick, a little bit like pancake batter maybe would be a good way. But if you can tell, it's a little thicker than some of the other pastes and stuff. So this is what we're going to play with. And I just kind of popped it down on everything. And then I'm going to spread it out. Now this is to clean this up, it's going to be a little messy. I might do one of the texture pastes as well, but I was thinking of doing one of these with Candy Coat and the lace stencil, and just kind of because I want to play and see how it works. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and I have one of the Simon Hurley, this is one of the Simon Hurley spreader tools. I'm not sure if I think they're in stock, but I did get it in the store. And I'm just going to spread it out. And I try to always, when I do pastes, go one direction. I am trying to get all of the butterflies, and I want the butterflies to be as smooth as I can get them. But I don't care about this section over here so much. I don't plan on cutting it down, but I do want to, I have to put it a little bit this way, but I do want to kind of, once I get this done, kind of mess this up a little bit. I don't care how perfect this section is, because I want that little bit of texture. So I'm just kind of scraping it. I'm going to scrape the extra off. So it is a lot thinner type of thing. I mean, I'm not an expert. I know a lot of times you use gesso to prep surfaces, especially people with mixed media, things like that. But I thought this is what I want to do. So normally I would use like a baby wipe or something, warm this all up. But I have an ice cream bucket full of hot water, and I'm just going to toss those in there and let them dry, and let them soak. And I'm going to do the same thing with my stencil. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it off. And I did one of these earlier, so I do have a dry one. And I always stick it stencil side, or not stencil, but like paste side down in my soapy water. And sometimes I leave it sit there. And if it sits there all night, in the morning, a lot of times, or it sits there for a couple of days, it's just a little bit of Dawn dish soap and water, and it will be fine. And then I don't have to even scrub it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, bring it up a little closer so you can kind of see it. So that's why I used a lot of pixie spray. I really wanted to make sure I could get that. I mean, I have a little bit of thickness right there where it is, but that's okay. Those clumps will be fine. And I'm just going to put this off to the side to dry. And then we're going to clean this up. I should have probably kept my scraper, but that's fine. I have more than one scraper. It does dry fairly quickly on your glass mat, so you do want to kind of move it and get going with it. Go ahead and just wipe it off and grab some baby wipes because they're the fastest and I can throw them away. So what I like to do when I'm using texture pastes and glitter glazes and all that is I wipe it really good with a baby wipe, or two, depending on how much is left. I try to use just one. This stuff's a little bit different. And then I go in and I will wipe it with some squeaky clean. So now that's pretty clean. I'm just going to save this for the next cleaning. Stick that on my thing. Then I'm going to dry it a little bit with my cloth. And then I'm going to spray it with some squeaky clean just to make sure there's no film left. Because the baby wipes don't always get it all off, but squeaky clean will get it nice and kind of clean. And then just for fun, because I'm going to play with this later, I also have our Hi, Kelly, you're fine. We're just kind of getting started. I'm going to use this as the stencil of the month. And I've just got some Not Your Mamas here. I'm going to cut it down, though, to about 6 by 6, just because, hello, you're cleaning. I was cleaning because I want to save this and I don't want to get a bunch of paste on it. So instead of using the texture paste from Ranger tonight, I want to do some candy coat, and then I'm going to try this technique off camera that I want to try tonight. So once again, I just have a bunch of pixie spray on there. Hopefully it's good. Oh no, I was cleaning a little bit. We used that white gesso and it was kind of messy. This is just the Pearl Candy Coat. I'm not going to worry about this being super perfect because I want some of that texture and non-perfectness. And then I can choose later what sections I like. So I just wanted to go ahead and we're going to try this with different, like, I would say white pastes. A white glitter glaze would probably work, especially if you don't get it like super perfect on there. Leave some cracks. I don't even know if there's a name for it. I'm kind of making it up on the fly. We're basically going to make a mess and have fun with it. Stairs were not your friend. They were not my friend a few weeks ago, Heather, and I'm still sore. All right. So I am also going to go ahead and pull this one off quick. You can see I still have gesso on me. Wipes off pretty easy, but I'm not going to worry. It's kind of dried on, and I'll scrape it off pretty good after we're done. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off and just kind of hope it looks, it's not perfect, but I'm going to just, yes, that's what I said. This is what I want. This is the texture for the interesting parts of it. So, and then I'll throw this in my bucket. Now this is the part where I'm not sure how it's going to work. We're just going to play. I got that to dry. So this is the one I did earlier, and it's going to be kind of hard to see. You can see the design, but this is the gesso. Hi, Kate. And this is the Not Your Mama's. And then I also, here's the one with and I'll show you the crackle. And just see how I didn't have the perfection over here. That's what I was hoping for, just a little bit. And then it kind of crackles on its own. So this is where we're going to kind of play. We're going to do them both differently at different times. Let me grab my little box here. Now, if I don't see your comment, you have to forgive me. Maybe I can turn it this way. That'll be easier. I have a whole bunch of chroma mists to the side here. I definitely want to use the new ones, but I don't know if I really want to spray so much. We're going to do some spritzes, but I'm kind of holding it up, trying to show you like kind of, I don't know, a foot away. And I'm trying not to spray the camera. I'm going to try to spray towards the back of the box. And I'm just going to make a little bit of mess, but I want it to be, I don't know if it's going to work the way I hoped it would, but I haven't used all of these. So I want to make sure it kind of messes up. And of course, we're going to add that liquid gold because to me, that one just spritzes and kind of makes a mess. And then I've got, so that first one was Peacock. The second one, I don't know the names of these yet, is Lime. I have a little bit, I don't know if I want to use this or not. This is Copper Shimmer is one of my favorites. So we're just going to spritz it out a little bit. I do like those big droplets. I tried to just grab a bunch of just fun kind of colors and just see how it was. That was the Magenta Sparkle. I threw a little bit of, some of these aren't as thicker. They're like lighter colors, so they might not show up as much. Let's see, this one is the Apricot. That's the other new one. Let's put the, and then we're just going to kind of let it sit for a little bit and see what happens. Okay. Like I said, I didn't know how well what would happen with gesso underneath it, but I thought it would be fun just to see. And we'll maybe hit it with a heat tool in a little bit and see what it looks like. I'm going to put that to the side here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the crackle texture. So we're going to start with that Peacock. This is actually, we're going to start with the Apricot. It is. I have not seen the new lunar. I don't know if I've seen them yet. I haven't paid that close attention to to anything that hasn't been new unless it's been Brutus Monroe. This is just some water. I think I'm going to wet this a little bit, but I'll have to. I only have a couple lunar pastes right now, and I always forget to use them. I got a couple in a couple of events boxes, and they're sitting on my counter actually behind me, so I don't forget. I'm going to use some of the same colors. The teal blue would be a really pretty color in the lunar paste. Does it have is it one of the names? Is it like the Tropical Tango or the Remember Me, or is it a new color? Because I know he was thinking about new colors. That was the coral. That one was quite bright. But do you see, this is kind of what I was, this is the difference. The crackle paste, it's getting inside those crackles and still showing. And that's kind of what I was hoping for. Now the blue and the green are cool colors, right? So it's a little bit brighter. Okay, new colors. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. I'll look later and see if I can find them. I know he was at Creativation and they were showing some of that stuff there. So, all right. Now, I also want to do a little bit of splash. So, well, thanks, Penny. I will check it out. I know that Chris Dayton was live at Creativation, and she was showing some things he was doing, but I was busy doing something, and I couldn't watch it at the time. Or she was showing some picture. Somebody was showing it. That was the Gilded Aqua Splash. Voltage, Yellow Jacket, Tangent, Hot Mess. I like Hot Mess. That's a Mood Ring. Ooh, might have to try that one. No Chill and Dart Frog. Okay. Have to try that out and see. This is the Aqua Splash in white. It might not show up right away. I might need to dry this a little bit. Let's dry that quick so it doesn't bleed into the other colors. I think you could do that. You could do this with aqua pigments as well and splatter them or dip them in and wet it down. That would be fun. So I'm going to keep moving it because of the paste. What I am going to try to heat it up just a little bit. To dry it off a little bit. This was actually the very first time I used the crackle. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I think they're awesome too. I love the colors. Um, and I like the apricot was very, very light. Okay. So I thought that would be a fun, I wanted to use the new ones and I used, because the peacock is beautiful, but it is very dark. So it could overpower everything. I wanted to throw a little bit of the purple aqua splash in here just because I wanted that little bit of darkness. See, when drying that off a little bit, just adds that little bit extra texture. You know what? There you go, Danielle. I have them sitting on my desk and I forget about them all the time. And I grab my like gilded aqua pigments to do this. And I'm like, duh, I have the gold aqua splash, the silver aqua splash, use that. So I've been trying to use them more and remember them. That's one of the reasons why I put them. They're like, I don't know if you could, but they're right there, just out of eyesight from me, so I can see them. I don't know if the yellow is going to show up too much, but we'll throw a little bit. Yeah, it does. There you go. Put it on your desk, Danielle, and go for it. The purple's really pretty. We're just kind of adding all of them. I've got the pink passion. I mean, because this is kind of a rainbowy colored one. And then we're just going to let it sit. And then we're going to do some stamping and inking. I do think I'm going to add just a little bit of the raven. I've been waiting for the raven. And when they came out with it, I was super excited about it. And I hadn't even used it yet. I think that we did just a little bit of that. We might need to let it dry too before we do more. All right. Yeah, I have a little like organizer for like papers that I don't know, I inherited somewhere, and I can keep has just the right compartments to keep slimline card bases and card base pre-cut bases. And then it has like a little spot that you'd put I think that's probably where you would put your Post-it notes. And that's where I put my aqua splashes. But now I have one too many because I have a double of one and it doesn't fit there. So, hi, Ellen. Thank you, Heather. We're going to throw this out here and we're going to dry this a little bit too. Just a little bit. So now this one was more of the blue, but it's now starting to dry in person, and I'll show it to you quickly. You can see more of the gesso. We just got to help it along a little bit because otherwise we won't be able to finish these cards. So I'm just going to move it around real fast. Oops. Because I don't want it to bubble up anything. How are you, Ellen? I'm trying to bring it up so you can kind of see. You can see it. See the colors and then the lines? That's what I thought it would be fun to. And I think the other thing I thought about doing, thank you, Karen. The other thing I thought about doing was like what Christopher did with the aqua pigments a couple weeks ago, is just kind of patting off a little bit of the color. So it's not super damp, so that it kicks away some of the bubbles and I think that. But I think it's really fun how the gesso takes the color. So here, I'm going to kind of bring it up. It's not 100% dry, but I'm going to kind of, so you can kind of see that butterflyness. And I think that that's just turning out really fun. And then we're going to kind of cut it down somewhat because this is obviously a really big piece of paper. I just cut off some. And I know it's still damp because I can feel it. So I will tell you that's the trick I had heard is if you feel cool underneath something that's had sprays and paints on it, then it means it's still a little wet. But we got to let that dry a little bit. Oh, don't touch my stencils back here. All right. Let's check this one out a little bit more. I'm going to dap this off just a little bit. Well, I like how that is. And then this is drawing a little faster. I'm going to bring that up so you can kind of see. Like, I love how it, what I really wanted it to do is to go down inside the little crackly spots and make the different colors. And then there's still some white from that texture paste. Thank you. I do too. I love this stencil, Sarah. I actually haven't, this is the first time I've got to play with it, and I was super excited to be able to get that done. Now, this is a heavily blue area, but when we cut this down, we might cut some of that off, so I'm not going to worry about that. So, okay, so we're going to let these dry just a little. Well, let's hit this one with the heat tool one more time. I'm actually going to flip it over. Yeah, these are some of my favorites, and I haven't played with the butterfly one yet. That one's on my list for this weekend. So I love how this is the green and how it kind of faded back, and it's a little greeny, a little yellowy. All right, we're gonna let those dry. We got to get some stamping done now. Now, I hadn't really decided from there what else we should do, so I thought I would pull out what was going. I have basically I have the release in here. And I grabbed some paper that would match, and I wasn't sure. We played with this one. I'm thinking we need to use some of the pancetto, but I'm not sure what yet. So let's grab a piece of that out. But I have possibly an idea. So I think what we're going to do is use this, or we're going to use the sweet wings, because I really like those two items. And then we're going to use a lot of stuff, because then I think we're also going to use these sentiments. Okay. I'm going to set that down on the floor. So I think what I want to do is we're going to do a big, bold piece of this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of vellum, the heat-resistant vellum, because this is going to be an A2 card. Hello, Not Afraid of Color, which I think is T. You played with that yesterday in a different way, and I love that stuff. What stuff? This, Sarah? The pancetto or which stuff? What are you playing with? Because I've had a couple things out. Yep, T. I thought so. Just making sure that I remembered. Let's stamp my stencil back on here. I am going to go ahead and use, I think we're going to use this middle one. Hi, Christy. Yeah, the pancetto. Okay. Hi, Christy. How are you? We're going to use this middle one. I haven't played with this stamp set yet much either. A little bit. I've used more of the stencil of the month and the, that's what I want. Hold on, I'm just making sure it matches. It fits. We're just going to stamp it out. We're going to do some fussy cutting. Not my favorite thing, but we'll do it. We'll do it just for Heather. All right, let's get our magnet down here. Yep, a pancetto. All right, so I'm just going to try to make sure it's kind of even design-wise, you know, from where the dots are. I'm not going to worry about it being straight because we're going to, but I think I want this to be kind of bold. So I'm going to stamp it in black. We're gonna do that. We are gonna do Raven. I feel like I want that punch. And we're gonna heat emboss. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I thought about adding some of the chunky glitter glaze, and we might do that, but that will have to be at the end so it dries. And then you guys will see that. You'll see the effect, but then when it's dry, you'll see the final. Okay. Just going to stamp this down a few times, and I'm going to go wild and crazy, which is something I don't normally do, especially on a live. And we're going to get out the Raven Detail embossing powder. Just because I tend to not, it doesn't like me. It likes lots of people. It doesn't like me. All right. Perfect. It is a beautiful stamp. This was one of the, I'm a rebel. Yes. It is a pretty stamp. It's not one of my, it's one of the ones I was super excited to get once the release was ready. This is the heat emboss, the heat resistant vellum. Which is just really fun. Oops. Close enough. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit. Sometimes my lights don't always tell me if it's all the way dry. But I think what my thoughts are is we're going to put it as a band across. I don't know where. Probably up towards maybe up towards like in the middle. I don't know where. Something like that. And then we're actually going to do it on the other side too. So we have two. And that one, maybe we'll do in a fun color. Oh, what did you think, T? I love them. They're one of my favorite things to, especially to, I'm getting a little more comfortable with watercoloring. So that's one thing. I'm not an expert by no means, but I'm definitely like aqua pigments for watercoloring and kind of mixing them together and letting them do their own thing. We're going to use a different one for the other one, and we're going to use a different color. Yes. Oh gosh, yes. You can't have enough. I will tell you that if you don't have the pearl, get the pearl. Because you can add so much shimmer to all, if you really want one that's shimmery and you don't have the shimmery one, you can add a little bit of the pearl to any of it and it will shimmer. Or you can water the shimmer down and make it your own shimmer paint. And just put a little water in it. So the water reactive pencils and then blend with aqua pigments. I don't know if I know what the water reactive pencils are. Pearl what? The pearl. I will show you, Melissa. It's always on my desk. Nope, that's water. That's an empty one. The pearl aqua pigment. This one. I had 3 bottles, I think. But so you can kind of see it. Okay, I know what you're talking about, Heather, the Inktense. But I will use it to paint. I will water it down and paint it on top of items. I will add it to other, like you can add it to like this coral, for example. Yep. And okay. I will have to look and see what those are. I don't think I know what those are. But I'll show you in a few minutes, okay? I'll show you. Let me grab another color. I want to grab I didn't grab them out because I didn't think about it right away. I'm gonna grab what was that other one? We're gonna grab the orange. The orange peel, if I can find it. No, if I can find it. Maybe we'll use the Haluski. Sorry guys, I'm gonna grab my aqua pigments here. Or well, here it is. We're gonna use the orange peel for this one. I wasn't thinking about heat embossing when we first started. So Good, Melissa. I have a few of Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I haven't used them a whole lot yet. I have one set. I've used them very, very sparingly right now, mostly because I tend to use the aqua pigments or the chroma mists when I paint. I just put a little bit on my glass mat here. Here we go. And then we're going to use the orange. All right, and we can get this out of the way. We don't need this anymore. I do love the Haluski too. I love the green. It's just such a pretty color. But I think I want to do orange because I want the different pop of the color to against the background. And then we'll decide which one can go on which one. Okay, now before I spill, we're going to put this away. This orange is just beautiful. I'm excited to make fall cards for this orange. Pumpkins. It's in leaves. Oh, I want to mix the orange and the bronze and gilded and make a beautiful leaf out of that. Maybe I'll make a butterfly like that this weekend. See how it looks. Test it out. Okay. Now let's heat set this one. Oh, well, I'm glad I could help. Sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. It's so pretty. And on here, it looks almost metallic-y. Look at it. It looks metallic-y. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, it is. It's a pretty orange. It's prettier than you would think. All right, I'm going to trim this with my trimmer first, just because I can save that kind of piece of vellum for something else. You know, there's just enough for like a sentiment or something. Then we're going to go ahead and kind of fussy. Yeah, it is. It does look like copper, doesn't it? I'm not going to worry too much about the pattern being perfect as I fussy cut this, because it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be on top of all that texture. It's just for fun. I could have just made a band. Maybe we'll do a band with the orange. See what we think the differences are. And oh, there's a dog in the neighborhood barking. So my dog's trying to figure out who's barking. Sounds like the neighbor's leaving, so he's barking. His dog was barking. So I can't believe that Easter is on Sunday and then April 1st is on Monday. And April 1st, not only significance, April and April Fool's Day, but it's significance birthday month. Lots of birthdays at Brutus Monroe in April. Mine, Miss Penny's, Walter's, Christopher's. I know there's another one. There's another one. Can't remember whose it was that said that. I know I have it written down, but at the top of my head, I can't remember. Yes, your YouTube anniversary. That's a good date to have an anniversary. It's my honey and my anniversary too, of the day we met. Daryl, yes. I knew Daryl's, but there's another person I think on the design team. Heather, your mom, my sister. Two of my best sorority girls. There's lots of birthdays in April. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of paying attention to this here a little bit. Francie's, that's right. And then, okay, and then your daughter, Melissa. Okay. It was somebody else. I knew we talked about this not too long ago, and they said their birthday was. It was Francie's. Thank you. Sometimes I know there's just, at one point in my life, I knew someone who had a birthday in April from April 1st through April 14th. So I knew even if I didn't necessarily celebrate them with them, I knew someone who had a birthday. Like a classmate, a sister's classmate, a relative, something like that. It's kind of crazy. I'm just lining up the edge of this with the edge We'll do a straight one with this and see what we think. Okay, your dad-in-law's the 13th, 4th, and 6th. The 4th is a good day. That's my sister's. Mine is the 7th. So it's on a Sunday this year. All right, we got to cut these down. And I'm going to save the little bit of extra for like a border because of the texture that's on here. But I'm going to try to keep as much of this as I can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these so you can see it. I'm going to make this a full panel. I don't think I'm going to layer it. I might layer it. Yeah. So this is one of your son's is today. There you go. And Heather, your mom's is the 6th. This is one of our Slimline card bases. They don't come pre-scored. I just score them in half. But they are 3.5 inches. Okay. Lots of Aries. Yes. And Emily's was today. If you didn't see the post over at Brutus Monroe. So we're going to cut this down. I am going to cut it down to 3 1/4. Actually, just a little bigger than 3 1/4. I love this trimmer too, Ellen. It's one of my favorites. Yep, Christopher's is the 13th. So there is just this little bit of extra, and I think I'm just going to save this for a border. There's just enough space here that I think I could stamp a nice big sentiment on there. And then we're going to go over on this side and just trim a hair off. And I think we are going to put this, I am going to put this on, I'm going to mat this. But we got to decide which one we're going to use first. This one is a little wet. It is, I think, for you, Penny. I think I knew that. Now this one, you can see where the edge of the stencil was, because this one's bigger than that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down. I think we are going to mat both of these. So I'm going to cut it down exactly where that line is. That piece we're going to throw away. And then this one we're going to cut down to 3 1/4 as well, so we can mat it on something. Now I am kind of rushing this a little bit since we're live, but it is damp, so I'm going to try to be careful because it can tear. And then I think this is a kind of a fun piece. I might save it for right now and see if I can do something with it. Is it your Sally O'Malley's birthday, Penny? I'm not sure if I know what that means, but I know it's a big one for her. All right, guys. So here's the dilemma we have. We've got this black and we've got the orange. I think I'm kind of leaning this way. I don't know. Which one do you think? This is option A. Okay. And this will be option B. Does anyone have a preference while I dig out some coordinating papers? Okay, growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of it, so A, okay. I think we're going to use this for the one. All right, A's got it. Sorry, Markel. And then we will do the black for a raven I don't know if I have any raven out here. I don't. Do I have a black mat already cut? I do. Awesome. All right, so, nope, it goes this way because this was B. So we're going to swap around. This was A, right? Oh, that's not going to work. That one's not a big enough piece. All right, we'll cut some raven down. So we're going to do orange here. So I need to cut this one down. Yep. Okay, we're going to do it this way and this. Thank you. I like to give some options to the audience. I am going to cut this down at 3 3. Oh, what is that? 1, 2, 3/8. Is that about right? For the one. I'm just trying to not make sure I put nothing on that wet. Yeah, that's going to work. So it's just a hair. I just want a little bit of that orange showing. And then we're going to grab some black. Raven ink here. We're gonna do the same thing. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. It's fun. I mean, sometimes I like to kind of not have an idea. I mean, like have a short, somewhat version of an idea, but not a huge plan when I do the lives, because I think it's fun to show. You know, when you do videos, you always see the edited version, and you know, a lot of times the bad parts get edited out. We might trim this down just a little bit more. I think we will. Okay. So we've got this. So we got our bases. We're going to trim it down a little bit more, and then we're going to get our sentiments going. I am going to trim off a little bit more of the messier side, I think, because I want some more of that. We're just going to go down to about 3 1/4, 3 1/4. And then I'm just going to trim just a little bit off each top and bottom, just to clean it up. And then we'll eyeball it. How's that look? We're going to trim. I think I'm going to trim that black down on the sides a little bit once we get it down. Nope, we're going to trim off just a little bit more. I don't always measure. Sometimes I like to eyeball it. And then once I get it on, if I don't like it, we will, yeah, see, I think what we'll do, and then I'll trim that down a little bit. Okay. So that's that one. And let's look at this one. I think we're going to trim just a hair off this one too. We could have done the blue, but I think the blue is so overpowering since we're going to do the orange matte to go with the orange peel. Just a little off the top and a little extra off the bottom. Now, when you go through this, thank you, Melissa. It is overrated. A crafty friend of mine says perfection is for serial killers. She says something in serial killers. I can't remember what my friend Lydia Felder says that, and I think that's kind of fun. So this is kind of our missus. We're going to start putting this together. Then we got to come up with like a sentiment of some sort. And I probably can stamp on this one if I wanted to, but this one with the texture paste isn't going to let me. So we're going to have to stamp and die cut that out quick. So let us get going on this. I'm going to use a little bit of both tape runner and liquid glue. Neighbors are home banging, so my dog thinks there's an intruder. Yeah. And here's doors slamming. Sometimes he thinks somebody's here. So my family was visiting in town the last few days, and I got home, was it last night late, and I think I texted and said I was on my way. I can't remember at this point. It was, you know, it was late for me. You know, I'm not out usually past 9 o'clock ever. And I came in the house, and it was funny. The dog was doing the dead bug. If you know what, you have a dog, you know what the dead bug is. If you don't know what the dead bug is, let me know and I'll tell you. I mean, I'm sure you can figure out from the description. And just as I happened to open the door before he heard me, and I saw him, and he like twisted like a pretzel as he tried to roll off the couch and bark and be like, oh, you're home. And so he was trying to roll over and stand up. It was pretty funny, actually. I was like, hi, pup. I'm home. So I was out a couple of nights, and I went over to their Airbnb and played some card games and stuff with them. So he hasn't had a lot of mama time. So I know he'll be looking forward to Saturday and spending the day in the craft room with mom after we go for a long, long walk. Oh, your dog joined in the barking. Sorry about that. All right. We're going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm going to stick my Misty on top of it to help it dry. It's not too bad. He is a good boy. He is so protective. He protected me this weekend. We go through a little kind of woodsy area sometimes for a walk. And since I knew I was going to be gone for a little while, my family and I were going to go on a little jaunt to another neighboring town, I took him twice on the path that we walked. I haven't done 2 paths on his walk since he hurt his foot. And we were just halfway through our second walk, and it's kind of by a little cricky, it's part of the Mississippi River, but it's like an offshoot tributary little kind of bend. It's not really it's kind of like a creek anyway. And all of a sudden he stopped what he was doing and he started barking. And I looked up, and it was from the opposite direction, which is all woods, was a gentleman coming through the woods. And at first I was kind of like, oh, not expecting someone to come from over there because there's no houses. It's like river and woods. And he barked and barked, and I, got close and said, he's not going to bite. He's just, kind of being protective. And the guy stopped. Is an older gentleman. And I was like, good job, puppy. He protected mom and let somebody knew somebody was coming. The cats come flying in when there's a meow. That's kind of funny, Kate, when they hear something like that. My sister, or my nephew, he had a cat. And when they first got him, he was, when he was a kitten, he kind of, this is sad to say, but I almost kind of terrorized it. We had to stop after so long because I put a little like cat and meow on my phone, and he was going bonkers trying to find where this other cat was. And then and I mean, of course it was kind of funny. And then I realized we were kind of being mean, so we had to kind of stop. So when I put my panels down, I like to have them just a little bit bigger because I figure it's always easier to cut off a little and make it match than it is to try to line it up and be off just a hair and it looks off. Does that make sense? And I still look, it's still, I don't know what I did, but so we're going to fix that. I must not have had it in right. All right. There we go. You do the same thing? Yeah. I mean, I always say I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. It's better. There we go. And then one little tip I have sometimes is once in a while you get those little corners that don't quite, I kind of just stick my glue under there. I got that from Jennifer McGuire, and I just kind of put a little bit in there. Yeah, I try not to focus on it, and I just try to go forward, and as soon as I'm done, get my pictures taken and get it out of my way so I don't see that, because otherwise then it throws me off a little bit too. Crooked is your trademark, Stephanie. Well, that's a trademark. All right, guys. So I think we're going to put this one a little bit lower. I'm not sure where I want to put this one yet. We got to think up some sentiments quick. So this is what we got. They're going to go on a card base like this. There's not going to be any white on the top and the bottom, which is fine. But we got to get those on, and then we have to come up with some sentiments. But I think I really wanted to go with the sentiments from the Wings of Lace stamp set, because they're just, the script font is just beautiful. Otherwise, a bold font would really, a bold one would really work. These are really nice for here. But I think I'm going to go with one of these scripty ones, and then I think we're going to use the hello from the Sweet Wings. Okay. That's really weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, go right ahead. That was weird that my keyboard picked up. I can't hear you though. Hold on. There you go.
All right. I thought I would just pop in real quick because I just got home and I wanted to see what we're making here. I'm so excited that you're making this card, because who originally did the vellum like that? Was it you, or who was it on the team?
Sarah, I think. Sarah,
okay.
Sarah W, I think, right?
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool.
So, so this is the gesso. I used the white gesso, Christopher, at the stencil, and then just sprayed it. I think he froze. Are we all frozen? Or can you guys? Or just Christopher frozen? I think Christopher's frozen. And I don't know if you can hear me, so I'm going to keep going just in case he can. Okay. I gotta, my thing pops up when I.
So what?
Okay. Go ahead, Christopher. It's all right. I'll go ahead and, okay. I'm just going to keep talking and see if he can hear me. Maybe I'm for him. So I used white gesso, Christopher, with the stencil on
I
this
think I'm
one.
back.
There you are.
Okay.
You're back.
Perfect.
Okay. I got to put that down so I can see it. It's kind of fun. I can see you, Penny. It was a program, you guys, so I think there you are.
When I hopped on and I saw Penny, I was shocked that she was that she had her camera on because she never does.
That's
she
okay.
never does.
So this is the white gesso.
Okay.
Then I sprayed it with a bunch of the chroma mists. Oops.
That's amazing.
My camera didn't look like it froze. Hold on. What is weird here for me? I don't. Is it? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, because I said I can't. It's all frozen on my side. And then this one is the texture paste from Ranger. Here, actually, let's just turn me off. You don't need to see me right this second. That might help because it's not letting me do three cameras or something. There. Yeah, it's really weird. Okay. And then we did the vellum on with the orange peel and the raven. So we're just in the raven embossing powder. So now I'm just kind of choosing some sentiments. So I think we're going to use the hello on this one and wings of lace.
The borders, our sentiments of lace. It was codenamed Borders for a while, which is like, I guess, an inside secret at Brutus Monroe. Before they get names, they get like these wacky things that just look like them, and then they get official names. But it's
okay. They do. That is fun to have the wacky names like that. Borders, but sentiments of lace because they're lacy and sentimenty. We're going to attach those with some of our dots. And then I grabbed the sending love, I think is what we're going to do. And I'm going to we're going to stamp that on some more of the, I'm not sure. This jack-o'-lantern? This is jack-o'-lantern, right? I had it out.
Yep, it's jack-o'-lantern.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. The only other orange we have is the harvest. And it's like much deeper orange.
Okay, I grabbed a bunch to take with me crafting this weekend, and I just grabbed one of each sheet. And so I was like, that matched. And then I didn't craft. So I played card games. So that is kind of the idea between these. I wanted to know what it looked like to spray the chroma mists over both of these. And then this weekend, I'm going to do the same technique with the chroma, the Candi Coat Pearl, for those of you and do the same thing and with the lace, and then I did one of the gesso on aqua pigment paper to see if there's a difference because the other two are not your mama's.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be a big difference, and I can't wait for you to see.
Yeah, and that's what I thought would be fun with that part of it is just to, because I'm going to be honest with everybody, I was terrified of these when I first got them because I don't like to lose control.
Well, those are the new creamier versions, so it's going to give you a much different finish than the regular ones do. So you can see on your cards how they're very opaque. You can see the difference. Yeah,
we used a bunch of them.
Yeah, the gesso though, it's really cool because the gesso didn't repel it like the Candi Coat will, so it kind of like sucked up the color, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure. I thought I'm gonna try it and see. And then, like I said, this is that I've never used this before. Yeah. I've had it for about 6 months, and I thought I opened it for the first time today.
Yeah, I think we sell that. I don't think it's in stock, but I'm pretty sure we do sell it.
You do, because that's where I got it from.
Oh, perfect.
A while ago. So I'd always wanted. I saw somebody use it once, and I thought, oh, I like that. I want to try it because it's messy and not what I'm not messy necessarily, and I wanted to be able to get out of my comfort zone with it.
And we are
So
very messy at home office. We love messy, and I mean, you should see when we're creating the products. It is a circus, to say the least.
Thank you, Linda. I just saw your comment. Thank you for your comment about the cards. It's fun. I think you weren't. I don't know if you were on earlier. I like to just play and hope thing comes together on a live, because that's how you can see how it works.
Oh, it's an SOS status. We do have it in stock.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Okay, this is the orange peel, and that's what was on the vellum. Because I thought that would be fun, and I love how I was saying how I like how it looks almost coppery on the vellum.
Oh, I love. Well, that one does have a shimmer to it, which I think that's the only one out of the new ones that has a little bit of a shimmer to it.
I want to add that one and the copper and the gilded all together on something, and like in different sections, and see what it looks like together. So I'm going to quick heat
we
pause
called it orange peel because it is it has that shine to it like an orange peel. So
Okay.
that's why we called it, because we needed something that was orange but also had some sort of a shine to it, and an orange peel really was the only thing that we could think of. Hello, Rose. It's good to see you too, my friend.
Oh, hi, Rose.
Listen, I might once a month join Candi if you guys like this. I mean, if Candi doesn't mind, I think this is fun.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine, because sometimes I usually pay attention, but once in a while I'm like, oh, sorry, I missed because I use a tablet for because I don't have space for a computer. And it's funny, I'm glad we started using the streaming system, because my tablet won't let me see YouTube chat at all. It's a Kindle, and it won't let me. So I have to have usually a phone, and then my phone to film. And so I use the tablet sometimes, and instead of YouTube pulled up.
Yeah, having an iMac changed my life, because it literally takes up zero space. It's just a screen. That's all it is. That's what I'm on here at. I have the orange one, of course, but that's what I'm on in my office, and it's wonderful because it literally takes up, zero space on my desk, and this is how big the keyboard is. So it takes up literally nothing on my desk.
That would be, as I have a bigger space. I don't have a big enough space for that right now in my little craft room. So I'm going to use the dots to put the vellum down.
The sticky dots.
Yep, the sticky dots.
We have a full shipment of those coming in on Friday.
Oh, good. They'll probably sell out before I place my order.
Yeah, we got 4 cases of the clear shattered glass. I can't remember what we named it, but clear shattered glass was the code name for it.
Yeah.
That'll be in on Friday too, but it won't last very long because I'm using it on Thursday.
I think I bought four of them sometime last year, and I haven't foiled a lot lately.
It's called magical shattered glass.
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yes. All right. I'm going to use my grid mat. Oh, you guys, I don't know who this is, but I saw this post on Facebook today. Unfortunately, I don't know the lady, but she must have had a fire in her craft room, and she said she could salvage 10%, but she showed her glass mat.
Oh, yeah, I
survived the fire 100%. The only thing that missed was the rubber things fell off. She showed it before, and it was full of soot and everything, and then she cleaned it. So I will tell you that it will survive.
Well, it's because of that. It's that tempered glass.
Yeah. So if you don't have one, this is a good one to have for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got that. We've got sending love, and then we got to put this one down here. And I have used the sheet.
No, foil doesn't have a shelf life, Melissa.
I was gonna say, I don't think so, because I've had some since I've met Christopher that I've never used, and it still works. So
yeah, I have some from before I had licensing with them, and you obviously you want to take care of it, keep it out of the sun and stuff, because I'm sure it can over time fade, but I don't think it has a shelf life now.
The first time I foiled was with Gina and Rena ever. That was kind of fun, but it was all planned. And then the second time I ever foiled was with you and Sue.
Oh yeah.
and it did not foil for me.
Mhm.
And it was something you came over and you're like, here's another sheet of foil. Foil it a second time. And so my sentiment had two different foils on it.
Was
And I
that at
was,
the Junkie Fest?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was
I didn't
when
know you could foil twice.
that was when they first introduced the acetate and
Okay.
the clear toner sheets, and boy were they tricky, because number one, people couldn't figure out which side to use, and then also you really can't put it through a laminator by itself because it can curl under. So we
Yep.
had to teach everybody that you had to use the a piece of cardstock, and then we taught them. I mean, it was a disaster when they first launched, but now
Yes.
it's much, much better than it was with the first launch. And that was, my goodness, what, 2019?
Yep. 2019.
2019?
Melissa, are you using what type of laminate? Are you using a laminator?
Yeah, we'll need
Or
to
what type of
troubleshoot.
machine are you using? Is it just a regular laminator? Because I have had issues foiling sometimes, and I didn't have a laminator. I had I still have a Royal Sovereign, but I got it too hot. And I will tell you, if you can or when you can get the fuse, game changer. I only foil with the fuse and my hot plate
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we're hoping that we'll be able to get the fuses back. I'm thinking probably like mid-spring. We do have the intracuts coming back. I know that.
Okay, good. I knew they were coming back in.
But we do not, we won't have, I think, the fuses for a little while, because we got ours
Okay.
back in. I think we got, like, I want to say a pallet of them, and they were gone in 24 hours. So hopefully we'll be able to get them back in. But which foil are you using, Melissa? Because if
Yeah.
in particular, if you're using the magical shatter glass, there is a side to it. So if your magical shatter glass isn't working, what I always say, and of course I don't have any foil in this space yet, but it'll fold. So I don't even have a piece. Oh wait, I have a piece of paper. So like if it folds downwards like this when you're holding it, that means that side goes down. If you're holding it like this and it folds up, that means it is the wrong side. So, there we go. So you can see how that one curls downwards. And obviously that one is
you can see it,
definitely tell which side is which. But if you hold it like that, see how it tries to curl. If you hold it upside down, it tries to curl in the opposite direction. So that's how you'll know which side is which, because magical is a incredible product, but
I don't know
it does have a right and a wrong side. And that's something that you want to be.
Yeah, mine's hidden somewhere.
Yeah, I was trying to find mine last night on my live too, and I don't know where it went. We have to organize our foils. All
right, Heather. She was here. I don't know if she still is.
Yeah, she just commented. Heather made me buy a lot of a brand new product that we're going to be offering very soon. So if you guys love them, you could thank Heather. If you
Awesome.
or no, if you love them, you could thank me. If you hate them, you could blame Heather. She showed them to me, but I ordered a lot of it tonight, so I'm hoping that everybody loves this new product that we're launching. I'll give you a hint. It's something that I use on every single one of my cards. So we'll see those probably the first week of April, I'm thinking.
Well, I was just saying that's next week already.
I know.
And I said that because I said it's the best month of the year. It's birthday month.
I know. We have two. Wait, how many birthdays do we celebrate, Bruce and Row?
Well, there's
in person we have two. Yep.
Mine, yours.
Yep.
Walter's,
but we'll be celebrating yours via FaceTime, I'm sure. But yeah, Daryl's first and then me. And
I'm on a Sunday this year.
Mine's Saturday this year. It was supposed to be Friday the 13th, but it was a leap year.
Yeah, that's why mine's Sunday too. And then Daryl's, and then Penny's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gems. That's why I was asking. I was looking at what Melissa said there.
We'll just
I'm gonna say no. Not gems. All right. This is a experiment. This is on the gesso, you guys. I'm gonna I'm heat embossing on it. It should work, but
you'll be good. Just think of gesso as paper. That's what I tell everybody. As soon as gesso dries, it's basically like liquid paper. So as soon as it dries, you can do anything on top of it that you would do on paper.
Can you guys see this live? Because I can't. It's frozen for me. Okay, good.
Looks great.
Okay, so then I just folded it under. It's not perfect like this, but that's okay because we're just going to tape it down and stick it on our Slimline cards. So, and a lot of times, like if I was doing this, not live, I would have cut a bunch of stuff out of the middle of this, like die cuts or something, just because. But I wasn't going to do that this time and waste your guys' time watching me die cut. All
You just
right.
gave me a really good idea.
Okay, that's good. There we go. So we've got one. I know, Heather. I did a lot of late night shopping after Junkie Fest the first few times I watched Christopher, and I was like, I got to stop watching him or I'm going to spend too much money.
I was just thinking, what if there was an A2 size die that was sized perfectly to cut out the portion of the paper that you're not going to use, but it had a whole bunch of useful dies on the plate?
That sounds fabulous. I mean, or just generic dies like maybe like a flower or a heart.
That's what I mean. Like, what if it had like banners or tags or just a whole bunch of things that you would use often that would you would normally be wasting that centerpiece. That has me thinking now.
Because I cut them out all the time. Whether it's a circle or Penny is okay. I have the 12th. Okay, I was gonna say hers is the day before Christopher's. I thought. All right, I'm gonna put this on like that. Oh, and then where'd my sentiment go? It's here somewhere.
I hope you didn't glue it.
All right. Well, we'll may have to put that on. Oh, it went in. Did it go in the garbage? No. Huh. It's on a piece of yellow paper. If you were a sentiment, where did you go? Where would you go?
My garbage bin at Brutus Monroe. If something falls in that in my studio, I'm never retrieving it. It is a giant orange garbage can.
I just dumped mine before.
I'll never ever find it.
All right, I'm going to put this one, I think, down below. So that they're kind of a little bit the same. Yep, I found it there. And now I'm going to use both liquid. Oh my gosh. We're going to have a left-handed card.
That's okay.
Good thing I noticed before I put the sentiment on.
Or just put it, make it so it's top folding.
No, I already put it on the card base is what I meant. So it's going to be.
Oh, but if you turn it to the side, you can just do it top folding. And then put your sentiment over there.
I don't know. Butterflies?
Oh, well, yeah, the butterflies, I guess, are. Yeah. I didn't know. I forgot about the butterflies.
Yeah, that's okay. No big deal. I wasn't paying attention. It'll just be for my sister. She's a lefty.
There you go.
All right, we're going to put that down here instead. And we're just going to put that on. And then I think, I do want to put some liquid glue on the. Oh, that's stuck pretty good, actually. Usually I use both when I have texture. Title dies, yes.
Well, so that ATG tape is a whole different type of sticky.
Yeah. So we've got those, and I think we need some gems.
Because that ATG tape wasn't made for us, just like everything else. We stole it. That ATG tape was made for the packaging industry. I mean, that's what they use to close boxes. Like, that real sticky tape when you're ripping a box open, that's what ATG is.
And I don't know, my friend buys by the case, so I'm pretty sure I know where she gets it from, but I have no idea. So I just buy it from her.
Yes, Melissa, but the idea that I have, and I don't want to interrupt Candi anymore.
No, go ahead.
You all know I can talk. The idea that I have, and I probably shouldn't say this because what was that guy's name from Willy Wonka that stole the ideas?
Oh, Slugworth.
Yeah, I don't know if Slugsworth is here. So you never know when there's a spy. But the idea would be that there would be, and I'm just going to draw it really quickly. So it would be a center piece that looks like this. So these would not be die cuts. Okay, so these would just be, let's say they're just like, let's consider them as just little I don't know, let's say they're little hoagies that are cut out of there. And then inside of the hoagies, there would be things like stars or hearts or sentiment. And then what you do is you take whatever hoagie you want and then you put it in your die. And then you can choose what gets cut out of the centerpiece. So instead of instead of this all being one thing and you're like, oh, well, I don't really need hearts right now, or oh, I don't really need stars right now, you could instead take your hoagie pieces, pop them inside of here, and then you can cut out whatever you want from that centerpiece, and then you're not wasting it. But it's also going to cut out the square as well. So then you can do it again. So then you can use that piece again, and as long as it's matted to not be where the hoagie pieces are, I think it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
this might
because
be,
I do this all the time.
Yeah, that's, so it'll basically be like that, but just a whole bunch of little, and you'll be able to choose. And a hoagie is a general term. They'll probably be square. They'll probably be rectangles, but it'll give you the ability to cut out little pieces from, and we'll have like a heart, and we'll have like a basic shape set. We'll have basic sentiment set. We'll have I don't know. The sky's the limit, really. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, that's
and that
awesome.
all came from you saying you were going to cut out the center of your and then I'm sitting here. That's why I was looking down, because I'm like sketching and drawing, and I'm like, okay, what can we do?
All right, so Francie's not here, but this is for her. We got to get out the pen that will poke you in the eye.
Oh, the pokey tool.
Well, this one for some reason always looks like it's 3D and poking you.
Oh yeah,
this is for diamond dots.
Where'd you get that one from? That's really cool.
A friend of mine bought it off of Instagram. She said it's a lady who uses it. I can find out who it's wax, and you can, because I know you do diamond dots. You can sharpen it.
Yeah.
And
I didn't do diamond dots until people started buying me diamond dots, and now I can't stop doing diamond dots.
My niece was here, and she just did a narwhal one that was really, really cool. And I said, what are you going to do with the rest of your diamond dots? And she's like, well, I don't know yet. They're all in one bag. And I'm like, well, when your mom gets tired of picking them up, send them to me, because that is what we're going to use on this other card.
Oh, yes. Well, actually, Taylor sells them, doesn't she? Well, she calls them something different, but I mean, that's what they are there.
They might be, but I have a friend. I was at actually at Stamp Joy, and my friend Tara brought them all and said, take as many as you want. They're all extras. So another friend and I grabbed a bunch, and I've been using them. I like them for the center of flowers in particular.
Well, what I would probably do, not afraid of color, I would probably do one that does like embosses like a sequin. So you would be able to, like, on your on like your pretty like foil cardstock, it would not only cut out the circle, but it would also emboss on it what a sequin would look like. So then you could kind of make your own sequins. But the cool thing is, you wouldn't have to use the system together. You could use your inner pieces completely separately if you want.
Yeah.
I think we may, look for it in May. I can't do it for April because manufacturing takes a long time for. No, maybe we'll do one with a middle hole and one without a middle hole.
Well, there's always a way to add on to things sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about this is once we have the base, we could every single month, and then maybe it becomes a subscription that you get the new inner pieces every month.
Because I'm excited for the next month's. I'm not saying what it is, but the die of the month, and just.
Oh, it's a good one.
I know, and using it with anything in my stash and possible options to add on, paste maybe down the line if you do that. So I just realized that these are perfect for this. The diamond dots are perfect, but I'm not going to pull them out right now. But I'm going to put little gems in the middle of these.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not going to pull them out because we're already running over a little bit.
That's my fault.
No, it's okay. Not that anyone cares, but I mean, so I added just a few little dots. Oh, and I'm throwing them all over the floor that when I spilled them. He likes to, tease us a lot.
Well, it just happened. Well, you all can know it's I think I told them already it's a snow globe next month. So
okay.
Yeah,
well, I wasn't going to say that.
You don't really know what's in the snow globe yet, but I can tell you that it's probably the most versatile one that we've done in a very long time.
I'm really excited for it.
Hello, my beautiful Robin from Stamp and Bug. When are you coming to see me?
All right. You're okay with going over, Sarah. So where we go, we've got two of them. This one's the gesso card with the chroma mists.
It looks like I said,
just sprayed them. And then this one is the texture paste from Ranger, the opaque crackle with chroma mists, different colors. So you can kind of see the difference.
I love that stamp so much.
Stephanie, I try to go live every Wednesday. I usually am. I think I've only missed 1 or 2 Wednesdays because I've been sick, but like really sick, but I can't talk sick. But yes, I usually am live every Wednesday. So
That was actually the last stamp that was designed for that release too.
Was this one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of my favorites. I was excited to get it. So
Because I was in full butterfly mode when I was designing the other stuff. And then I was like, I feel like we need a border. And I don't know what made me think of it, because we used to have those border dies, which are coming back for the 10-year anniversary. We used to have those border dies that were just absolutely beautiful, but they were really big. So I think we're going to scale them down for the 10th anniversary. Although we might not, because people like to use them for scrapbooking. So I looked at those dies when I was figuring out stuff for because we're bringing back 100 products for the 10-year anniversary, all retired stuff. So when I was looking at that, I was like, what if that was a stamp instead? And then, of course, a week before release, I was like, but what if we had a stencil too? So Daryl wanted to kill me because and then of course that stencil and the butterfly builder stencil is probably the most popular stencils that we've ever released in the history of Brutus Monroe. So
I haven't used the butterfly builder yet. That's my goal for this weekend. So because I haven't had a chance to yet. So I'm excited for that one this weekend.
Oh yes, you can stamp it. It's a repeating pattern, Sarah. That is correct. You can just keep stamping it.
Because I did that with one of my I did that with this card.
I know. Can you believe we'll be 10 years old in December? I can't. I mean, I can, because it feels like it's been about 50.
I did that with this card.
Oh, I love that.
And then it's lined up right here.
Wait a second. How did you do that in the center? Oh, that's one of our stickers.
Oh yeah, this is one of the foil
wow. Stickers. Isn't it ridiculous when I get excited about our own product? I'm like, where the heck did you get that butterfly? It looks amazing. Wow, you'll all be excited. In April, we have 4 new foilable stickers coming out.
That's awesome. I need dies to cover cardstock that meet in the middle of a card front. Does that make sense?
I need dies to cover cardstock that meet in the middle on a card front. I feel like this is a math equation. Hold on.
I know.
Dies to cover cardstock that meet in the middle. Oh, so you need are you saying if you do 2 different colors, or if you have like scraps? That would probably be a good thing for I don't know if we still have bodacious borders or not, but that would be a good one for that. That was from CYOE last year.
Yeah, mine's on the other side of the room. I think.
To cover the cut line. Yeah, bodacious borders would probably be your best bet, because bodacious borders not only has really, really cool border, but you can add stuff to the inner pieces of them. And I don't know if they're still in stock, so that might be a horrible suggestion, but those would work perfectly for that.
Here you go, Terry.
That is one of my favorite die sets ever.
And I've just I have the star one, and I have 2 of them cut out. I haven't used them yet, but I'm ready to go. Here's that.
That would be, and I love the paper on that one. I hope it's still in stock. If not, we're in trouble, because I'm suggesting things that don't.
There you go, Terry. And for this one, you can keep the stars. This one, you can keep the circles. The clouds from this one. It's out of stock, but you can get notified. Okay. So I don't have them all cut out yet, but those are the ones I have cut out. I should probably.
That will be on the reorder list. Although, what was the other one with the flowers? That would be a good one too.
Flowers.
Remember, it was a die of the month.
Oh yes, Stay Rooted.
That's it. That would be a good one too.
Hold on, that's in my other folder. I've got them in 2 different sections.
And that one is in stock.
Okay, I have that one here too. I just have to figure out where it is.
Oh, there's a lot of really, really great projects.
Here. Stay Rooted is this one.
That would be a good one too. Yep.
And it's I'll open it up so you can see it. So here's one of the flowers that's done. I haven't used it yet. So it would fit and cover up a line.
Yep. Stay Rooted is not sold out, but Bodacious Borders is.
Okay. All right, I gotta put those away. Those have stuff that's not available yet, so I don't want to, or not available anymore. I want people to see that. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me, Christopher.
My pleasure.
I will see you guys next week, and not sure what we're gonna play with yet. Depends on if anything comes early enough, or otherwise we'll play with this again, or something new, something else.
Oh, you should have the stuff. I think by then.
It just depends, because there's no mail Monday, so if things are dumb.
Yeah, because everything is in now. So the only thing there was a delay on the dies. So
Yeah.
we should be at least able to send you something. That's for sure.
It'll be fine. I got lots of stuff to use yet. You guys, you're welcome. Thank you. Kelly, about notifications. You have yet to be able to find a way to get a notification. Am I missing it? About
So
restocks?
if so you're on YouTube, it looks like. So if you're on YouTube, you just have to make sure that you click on the bell and you have to make sure that it's all notifications. Because what YouTube likes to do is YouTube likes to only give you like what they think the notification is you want to see, which is never the correct notifications. So you have to make sure that you click on all notifications. That's the only way to make sure that you are going to be able to see everything.
Is it, Kelly, is that what you were asking about? Or were you talking about notifications for products?
Oh, I might have gone on a full tangent that wasn't.
No,
Restock.
I don't know which one she was asking about. I was gonna.
Yeah, here I can share my screen and show.
Okay, good, because I can't pull. I was trying to pull it up on my old phone and it's not cooperating.
Yeah, let me go to, let's see, is this gonna
Bodacious Borders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you see my screen? Nope, probably not. There we go. So if I look up Bodacious Borders and it's out of stock, it's going to pop up right here. So for some reason this isn't showing the correct thing, but you would just put in your email. And then hit this button, and then it's going to send it over. For some reason, I do see now what you're saying. It should pop up here and tell you that it is sending it over to you. I'm going to have to look into that and see why it's not showing that info.
And if you have already signed up for it and you do it again, it will tell you that you've already signed up for notification on that. So, because I've done that. So, like, did I sign up for that?
It's really, really easy to do on the app, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see what we play with next week.
Good night, friends.
And I think Saturday, I will have the first post up that has the Christopher's Brutified card with my Brutified card, and then next week I'll have all the rest of them up. So
Perfect.
on the blog. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody.